Yeah, shout out to my brother Kevin on here right now. What I'm about to do, I'm about to play the audio again, and I'm just going to go down the list of questions, um, that I was asking people earlier. I'm just gonna go down the list of questions for Kev. Kev, the lights is on, brother. It's game seven. It's game
Come on,
seven
man.
of the NBA Finals. And how you perform is all going to it's all going to be on you. Um, we had 300 something people. Let me tell y'all something real quick before I play the audio. Um, uh, I don't like know like you black women that be coming here. I don't. Not only do I not really know a lot of you, I'm not even cordial with a lot of you. And for those of you that are new here, I don't have a problem with disagreement. Okay. You can disagree with what I say. You can disagree with something that a panelist says, but you're not gonna disrespect anyone, and you damn sure not gonna disrespect me. So again, I said earlier that if you were a black woman if you want to come up here tonight, you were gonna have to turn your camera on, and none of y'all came up here. All they did was talk spicy in the comments and ended up getting blocked. Okay, so what I encourage y'all to do after this live tonight, I want y'all to work on having the confidence to get on these public platforms with your fresh face. Get on these platforms without your wig and your silk press. Get on these platforms without having your eyebrows and your eyelashes done and your makeup on that you don't even look good with on. Be able to work on being able to have the confidence to come up here and talk spicy with your camera on. But a lot of y'all can't do that. So you can come here and talk spicy, but you're just gonna get blocked at the end of the day. And then you can come on your backup account, you can come on your backup, you can come on your burner, you can come on your burner. That's just gonna get blocked too at the end of the day. I don't know you. I don't care about you. Like you just an internet entity to me. You just a loser on the internet to me at the end of the day. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there. You know, it's not my fault. It's not my fault that y'all lack self-confidence and y'all identify with that character that y'all paint on your face more so than the fresh face that you see when you get out the shower. That's not my problem, okay? That's something that's an internalized struggle that you have and that you need to work on. I can't help you with that, okay? Nor am I interested in helping you with that cuz I'm not interested in helping you with that. Anyways, we going to get into this. I'm about to play this audio and y'all sit back and enjoy the show, man. This man been dropping 50-point triple doubles lately. Let's see if he'll have another good game here tonight. Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Miss Janine. Shout out to the woman that I do have relationships with and I rock with on here. Shout out to Tamika, even though you've been being fake, Tamika. Shout out to you too. Anyways, let's get into it. Shout out to Miss Vaughn. I see you, Miss Vaughn.
If you haven't heard, Moroccan soccer player Hakimi is engaged in this vicious divorce battle with his soon-to-be ex-wife over assets to be distributed upon a divorce. The problem is Hakimi took all of his assets and put them in his mama's name. Now, the fact that he did that, that's a whole nother video. I'm going to give you tips on how to make sure you never end up in this situation. Step one, get a prenup. I've talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. And you might be thinking, I don't have enough assets for a prenup. A prenup will mandate both parties to disclose what assets they have, where they're located, and whose name they're in. If she would have done that, she would have known from the beginning he has nothing in his name. Step two, I want you to have a provision in your prenup that requires you to get paid out for every year that you are sitting at home taking care of the family and taking care of the kids. And you might be thinking, oh, I don't need to do that. Shut up. Shut up. Society is going to pressure you into a lot of things. Your love for the family is going to pressure you into a lot of things. And you need a payout in the event that you sacrifice your entire career and sit at home. Because you're not going to be able to jump back into the freaking work market with a gap in your resume. Step three, and this is something I'm personally going to have in my prenup, have a payout clause for every child you bring into this world. And you might be thinking, oh, you're not doing a big job by bringing a child into this world. It's your duty. Shut up. Okay, shut up. The mental, physical, emotional toll that's going to take on your body, on who you are as a person, it's going to change you forever. And let's be completely honest, when you are divorced and you have to go back into the dating market, they're going to treat you as a single mother with children very differently than a rich man who's divorced and has kids. It's not going to impact him or his life. It's going to impact you. So make sure you're compensated for
it. Mr. Story, what are your initial thoughts on that audio that you just heard? Do you agree or disagree with anything she said? Elaborate on how you feel.
First of all, man, if you don't could put my government information on this platform, first of all, you know, let's we're gonna say my name is Zilla for all who know. Y'all don't need to know my first name or last name, but if you do, it don't matter. I'm public known information anyway. I don't really care. But yeah, don't get in my information. Not even finna, you know what I'm saying? Not even finna go, try to find out, try to Google. They ain't gonna find nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna find some assets. That's about it. Some stuff I worked for, some
Heard.
stuff some stuff people didn't give to me.
Heard.
Some stuff that it took me time to establish. But anyway, that's a different story. I just think it's very odd, and it shows men. It should show men. Y'all should look at a situation like this and understand that marriage is a transaction for a lot of these women. You going into it thinking this is going to end at some point. So why don't I make sure I have the best outcome that I can have financially? She ain't saying make sure he still loves you and take care of the children when he leaves the relationship. She said make sure you get paid out each year. So each year, so basically he on a contract to play soccer or football. You on a contract to be a wife. You're not there for love. You're not there to be there for him, be his supporting cast. None of that, right? You literally there to have a relationship with this man and get paid for it. That's what it sounds like to me. But remember, as men, we go out in society, make our money, do what we're supposed to do, put money into our retirement funds, take care of our kids. We're not talking about the Pookies and Ray Rays, right? We're talking about men who got married, men that y'all actually like, men that y'all actually love, men that align with you women, right? We're talking about them right now, so don't go into the other part. These men don't even get your full attention. These men have in the back of their mind that you want to divorce them because you've already said, hey, I need to know what assets you have because when this ends, because it will, I need to know what am I getting when this ends? And then when you pop out children, it's supposed to be for the better of both people. It's supposed to be a union. It's supposed to be love, all those things. So you're telling me once you have this kid, each time, even because you're responsible for this child too, right? Financially, right? I guess women don't think they have a financial burden when they take care of their kids. Only when the man leaves the relationship, now all of a sudden they got a financial burden. But when they in the relationship, they don't got to pay no money towards the kid, right? They don't got to watch their own children. They don't got to raise their own children. They need nannies and, what y'all went and got these careers and got college educations and you're so smart. I'm just trying to understand why is it that in a relationship when you make more money, if you make more money or you make money or you have assets, you need to protect what you have as a woman because God forbid you lose anything that you worked for just to a man that you're supposed to love. But yet when we as men go through the same thing, work hard, 401k, we divorce you, we do everything we're supposed to do. You initiate the divorce. What do women initiate divorces at? Like 80, 90%? I don't know.
But
Somewhere around there.
between 70 and 80% right now.
So that's passing classes. If we in college, you passed. You would get a degree with that type of percentage. So passing. So majority of the time, women are initiating these divorces. I know y'all want to bring in DV and all these other things, but remember, you guys selected these men, you married them. These were the men that you wanted. So don't blame us when he don't support you, when he don't love you, when he don't listen to you because he paying all the bills. Because you think you're going to have a voice when this man paying all the bills and this man having to sacrifice everything he's sacrificing just to provide for you. And all of that, you turn around and say, you know what? You ain't sacrificed enough. I had these children, you know what? I'm going to need some more money. I'm going to need some more assets. I'm going to need 15 to 40% of your savings fund that you put into since you were 16, 17 years old. Me as a woman, because I married you, I need 15 or 30% of that. Like, that sound fair? It was only until these women found out that there's a loophole or there's a situation where a man can put his assets in his mother's name and now you don't get anything. And now it's backfiring on this woman and now she has to give up her assets. She has to tell him what she owns because she makes money. She's an educated woman. Why is it? They got married. They love each other. She wants to be divorced. I mean, leave a relationship. So she thought she was going to get half of all the contracts and all these other things. I'm just trying to understand, was she at practice with this man? Was she in danger of her life and her health on the field with this man? Like, so was she was she in the backyard kicking soccer balls to this man when he was a young baby, establishing the talent that he had? I'm just trying to understand why these women believe they need to benefit off of everything that a man does, but yet when a man needs to benefit off you, oh, no, we need a prenup. Oh, no, we need to know what's going on. Oh, no, I got my education and I've been out of work for 5 years because I want it to be. Because remember, y'all said y'all don't want to work. He never told you couldn't. You said I don't want to. Right? So you chose not to work, and then you worried about having a gap in your employment when you chose not to work because you wanted to be at home with the kids. That was your job. And he paid the bills. He made sure you had a car to drive in. He made sure when you swipe your card to buy something, that was the transaction. That was your payment. What else do you women need? I'm just trying to understand. So when you take the advice of this woman, just understand that men who are providing for women in society and are going to provide for women in society, you won't be on that list. So when you get divorced, like you said, men aren't going to look at you like that. They're going to be like, oh, she got divorced. She probably initiated. And then they're going to tell the story about how their husband was bad, da, da, da. To me, I'll be like, when a woman starts talking about her ex in a negative way, automatically off my list. I'm not even going to, I'll be cutting women off quick. You take 2 hours to text back. You text me, I'll never text you again. We ever get in a relationship and you don't know how to communicate in this one word answers and I got to probe you just to have conversations, you'll never speak to me again. You tell me as a man that I need to take you on a certain date somewhere and that's what a man provides for you, you'll never talk to me again. Any woman of any substance, any woman of any value, a man will see that. He's not going to think to himself, let me take you to Applebee's if he think you not an Applebee's girl. He going to say, let me impress her. Let me take her somewhere nice because I want to impress her. But if you got to tell the man where to take you, I should already tell you where you stand with him. But that's not the point. When a man gets married and he puts himself first and does all things he needs to do to provide for you as a woman, whether you got a career or not, but let's just say y'all all got careers, y'all all got degrees, y'all all smart, y'all all great women. When a man does what he's supposed to do in a relationship, how is it that you get all his assets? It's okay. It's fine. Hey, I supported you. I did what I had to do. Now, we know this man supported her. We know this man poured into her. We know this man was providing for her. Why is he not entitled to what she has? Oh, because it's the man's job, right? But y'all want to fight for equality. Y'all want to fight for a voice. Y'all want to be heard. But when it's time to be heard and it's time to pay up and it's trying to actually be an adult in a relationship, oh, no, we need a prenup. Oh, no, now we revert back to being dependents, right? Now we revert back to being children. Now we revert back to not knowing how to conduct ourselves in society as women and men, as individuals. Because we was married. We was together. It was a teamwork thing. Now we break up. We got to be toxic. We got to be disrespectful. We got to not like each other. This is the problem with a lot of these relationships and these marriages. So what's the point of dating a woman, dealing with a woman who already has told you, I need to know what you have because when this relationship ends, I need parts of things that I didn't help you obtain and I didn't help you get. Like, I'm just trying to understand. It doesn't make sense to me, but hey, y'all women keep going down that road and let's see where you get there. Because I promise you, there's men looking at this and saying, you know what? I'm going to stay away from a woman like that. And I'm definitely not going to listen to a woman like she's talking about when she get married. Ain't going to happen. After that video, ain't going to happen. And we can see, I'll be married before her, and I don't even want to be married, but we can definitely do a poll, or we can try to figure out who's going to be married, because I can assure you that no matter how much people think I'm disrespectful, or I don't speak right, or I don't tell women, I talk to women the wrong way, when I close out this app, I can screenshot inboxes on this platform. We ain't talking about other social platforms. So regardless of how bad you think I talk or how negative I am, there are women in society that like what I have to say. And I don't need to be appealing to every woman in society. I just need to be appealing to one woman. And if you're not that one woman, I don't give a damn. It is what it is. I'm just trying to understand, man. You know, we can't have nothing as men, right? We can't have nothing.
What'd you say?
Look, y'all been running. I'm just saying, man. Look, I'm just being honest, man. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't come here to disrespect women. I'm not telling you because you're a divorced lady that nobody's gonna see value and not love you. Absolutely, there are men, even myself. You know, I honestly think a woman that has been married is even more attractive than a woman that's been single for a long period of time. This is just me, because it shows that you were able to commit to a relationship. You're able to commit to a man. Shows me value in you as a woman. This is just me personally. A woman that's single just shows me that, hey, This is just me. I'm not saying you're bad, but if you're single for a long period of time, whether you say you're not settling or whatever, it just goes to show that you're not even willing to move and configure things in your life to even try to be with men in society. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that we all have compromise. We all have to come down off of these ledges sometimes because, hey, I'm not gonna. If I want to be happy, this is what you. It's a compromise, right? Contracts are like that. I want 100,000. I want to pay you 50,000. You find a way to make the numbers work. I don't see women finding a way to make the relationship work. But then you get mad when a man be honest. I'm gonna be honest because at the end of the day, I'm gonna have you hate me for being me than being some man that you didn't want me to be. The same minute y'all complain about, oh, he was this first, then he changed into something else. No, I'm gonna always be who I am. So, like I said, I might not be nothing to you, but I might be everything to somebody else. And that's who I'm worried about. I ain't never worried about you.
So, my second question is, do you think women using their platforms to spread messages like this to other women is going to encourage men to want to be married?
Men are already turned off by the fact of losing things that they worked for so hard just to a woman who she just articulated that these women go into these relationships knowing that they will end at some point. Men don't go into marriages knowing that it's going to end at some point. That's not what we if we were going to do. If we're doing that, why would we get married? We know what the burden of being married is. So I would just be your habitual boyfriend, or I would just be your side guy or sneaky link. Why would I marry you, give you my last name, give you access to all my funds just for you to walk away with it, half of it, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years down the line, 3 years? What? That don't even make sense. So if a man listening to that, he already like, ooh, okay, yep. Any woman, look in the comments. Any woman that's in the comments of a video like that, I ain't telling you to disrespect them, not telling you to go and make videos and stitch it. Just, okay, cool. Block them or remember that name. So when they jump in your inbox, oh, you making some little money now, you looking good. Wait a minute. I seen you back in the day talking that crazy stuff. You ain't on my level. Move past them. It's so many women, if we're going to speak about black women, it's so many black women that's marginalized in society that we don't even look at, that we don't even understand because they don't have a big enough butt, they don't have big enough breasts. Maybe their body is too big. I don't know. I don't know what men are not dealing with women for. But what I'm saying is that there are women in society that will do exactly what you're saying, that will be the type of partner you want, and you need to find those type of women if that's what you want. Or you can just leave the country. It's up to you. There's plenty of women outside the country. We talking about America right now. But if you want to leave America and find you a wife, I don't got a problem with that. You feel me? If you want to come back and be disrespectful and tell women how you don't want women here, I don't got a problem with that. Because there's women here in America that tell men every day that we're not good enough for them. We don't make enough money for them. Our penis ain't big enough for them. We ain't tall enough for them. So I don't have a problem with men turning back and projecting the same negativity because I get it each day. So, y'all got to take the good and the bad. Let's stop talking about, oh, they shouldn't be doing this. No, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing either. Check your own house before you try to be in somebody else's house trying to clean up. You feel me? That's just all I'm trying to say.
So, my third question is, in 2023, do you think most women value a man's financial status and what they foresee him being able to do for them in the future more than him being a God-fearing man, his character, ethics, morals, personality, and values?
None of that matters to women today. They don't care about if that finances, okay? Finances is what gets you through the door. Just think about how many men who don't have finances, but they don't have access to some of these great women because they don't make enough money. That's it. It ain't that they ain't tall enough. It ain't that they ain't loving enough. It ain't that they ain't nourishing enough. It ain't that they don't know how to be a father. They don't make enough money. So that automatically X's them out. Just think if men did the same thing and said, your butt ain't big enough. Not talking to you. That wig you got on top of your head, not talking to you. Those eyebrows you got drawn on your face with the makeup, not talking to you. We could do the same thing, and where would it get us? We'd all be out here throwing stuff at each other. So if women really valued a man being in her life, they wouldn't have had those issues, and they wouldn't have compounding issues dealing with the same type of men and then projecting that negativity on the rest of us men in society who haven't contributed to that. Because, like I said before, and I told you this, Noble, when a man is positive and a man is doing great things in society, he's an individual, right? They look at him and say, I want a black man like that. They associate that black man individually. But when you're doing something negative, when you got baby mamas, when you disrespectful, now all of a sudden that's a reflection of black men. He's not an individual. So the negativity that these women already see in us should tell you as a man what type of women you need to be dealing with. Any woman that has a negative opinion on black men in general, Get them out of your life. Don't even spend your time wasting on them at all. You feel me? So when we talk about finances, when we talk about anything of that nature, if that's the first topic, you already know what type of woman you're dealing with. If she don't care about how you will have a voice in a relationship, she don't care about how you will treat her, how you will support her, how you will respect her, how you will honor her, how you will be in her life and be a positive figure. If that's behind finances, you know what type of woman you're dealing with. No conversation needed. If that's the type of man you are.
With do you think there will start to be a large influx of government less marriages? So when I say government less marriages,
I know what you mean.
like, yeah, so just
I know what you mean.
we're going to be married. If you want to have a wedding, we can have a wedding, but we're not getting the government involved in this. So whatever you have right now is what you have. Whatever I have is what I have. And if you wake up one morning and you don't want to be with me anymore, or if I wake up one morning and I don't want to be with you anymore, we shake hands, we let bygones be bygones, and we go about our way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there'll start to be a large influx of that, like in the future?
No, it's funny.
No
Individuals
law
are
marriage.
already women and men are already doing that in general. You just don't hear about it because most people aren't trying to make that as global as possible. Most people who come to agreements, let's just say I'm a rich man, she's a rich woman. I'm not even gonna say that. We'll just say we're in love. I'm a little bit more well off. You're right there because women date up. I can take 700,000, 800,000, put it in an account. You can put whatever you can put in there. I can say this account will have both of our names on it. To take one of us off, one of us needs to be here and one of us needs to be informed. It might even need to take two signatures to withdraw money, or it might take two signatures to take one person off. There's ways around having to get married and have the same abilities. Now, tax purposes, you're probably not going to have that. But it's almost often better to file individually than it is to be married. Most people tell me that in general, as far as getting married, when y'all both have incomes, combined incomes, assets, all those things, it makes taxes a lot more hard, which is why when people get divorced, a lot of the times they have to wait until they file their taxes because they cannot file them individually because they've been married. But that's another conversation. But, we don't get there because most people ain't getting married. But there's a way to have a relationship be just as committed without having to get the government involved very easily. And y'all sitting down and having a conversation and understanding what your assets are, what I need to be entitled to, what we're going to put in the account together for the household and go from there. I don't need to give you my last name for you to understand to you and be a viable person in your life. That's not what we need to enlist the government into doing. But so many women feel validated by having a man's last name. But do you have his attention? Do you have his love the same way? Is he out being a representation of you, or is he out doing what he needs to do as an individual and you just married to him? You see, these type of men that a lot of these women want, they don't want the type of women that they are. And when we tell them that, they think we just being negative and all these other things. Like, I'm not a rich man at all, but I make a very good living and I only work part-time. If I worked full-time, I'd probably be talking even more crazy. Y'all would hate me. You know what I'm saying? And I make really good money. But at the same time, I don't lead with my finances. I want you to think I work at McDonald's. I don't care where you think I work, to be honest. 9 times out of 10, I ain't taking you nowhere anyway. And
That's
I honestly have people take me out on dates because if you're a man that took women out on dates before, you can tell when a woman genuinely wants to get to know you by interactions, by being with a person. You know that, right? And women, I'll say, especially black women, have definitely done a better job since, I don't even know, probably the last 5 years of actually showing interest in a man outside of a date. Now, I know a lot of women come on this platform and talk crazy, and I get that, but I'm telling you, man, I've had women like literally pay for stuff. I'm like, dang, you paying for dinner? And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that emasculates a man to have a woman pay for something when she's showing interest. Because when a man's paying for something, it's, oh, you're supposed to do that. He's not showing interest. That doesn't build equity in a woman. That the wrong woman. The real woman to be like, okay, dang, he could have been anywhere in the world. He took me out on a date. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that when we talk about relationships and marriage, all we have to do is understand what's best for us. We don't need to worry about the government. We don't need to worry about society. But that's the problem. They want to be on IG. They want to be on social media. They want to be on TikTok. They want to floss this man that they have. And then they mad when other women who are jealous of you, women who's supposed to be your sisters and supposed to be your friends, supposed to be the sisterhood, when she come take your man, now all of a sudden you blaming men for that when really that woman was only coming to get what you said you had and she wanted it too. But you blame men for that.
Power on.
It's that simple. Thank you, who said I'll take men on a date. You're a smart woman. You take a man on a date, I guarantee you'll have better results with men. Asking and requiring a man to take you out on dates, you see where it's getting them. They upset and mad every day talking about these men, these men, these men. Ask the women who take men on dates how their lives is going. What kind of interest do they get from men? It's rare that men sit down at a table somewhere and a woman does anything for them. You know what I'm saying? I just did a video stitch where there's a woman who tried to pay, and the man was like, "Don't embarrass me." All the black women in the comments, "Oh, I know a demographic of men that would love for you to pay for them." And it's like, dang, at every moment they got a foot on our necks and on our backs when we never had the same leverage as individuals. We didn't create the patriarchy. We did not create the systems in place. We did not create the laws in place. We were put at the same level as you, sometimes even lower. And we the ones that went out there and fought in the Civil War. We the ones that went out there and fought for the rights that women are having to have right now. Now I understand we did our own thing with the women's right vote and all that other stuff. But before you can even do all that, before you got your freedom, there were black men losing their lives. And it's just disingenuous to have these conversations and not include black men as if we did not contribute to things that are positive in society. It's always the negativity, which is why I always got time for it. Only negative black women is who I address. Positive black women, women who want to be loved and want to be honored, nothing but love and respect to y'all. But these disrespectful black women, I got time for them all the time.
With the way women are operating in the current dating scene, do you think most men have any interest in getting married at all?
I don't. I mean, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me change that. I do now. Now that I know I can put things in my mother's name and have her own them. I'm ready to get married. I want to get married now. I ain't gonna even lie. I mean, I'm gonna take some time, find the right woman. But yeah, I'm open to getting married now, for sure, for sure. If you take away the burden of knowing that you may lose everything that you worked for, if you actually own stuff, you actually have assets, yeah, definitely. I'm definitely open to it. But if you're telling me that she still would get all this, then no. I'd rather be in a relationship, like you said, walk away. Boom. Hey, it was nice kicking it with you the last couple of years. I'm finna go over to your friend because she was kind of eyeing me the whole relationship. Out of respect for you, I ain't do that. But it's over. I'm over there now. You feel me? That's just me. But it did. That's another story.
So last question, and you kind of already answered this, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Are modern women getting married for love in 2023, or do they more so see it as an advantageous business deal?
Well, they've already spoken that it's a business deal. Remember, it's a contract that needs to be signed. But remember, modern women aren't getting married. Modern women are giving ultimatums. That's what they're doing. They're saying, marry me, you need to do this. And men are like, okay, I'm gonna go somewhere else, or I'm gonna deal with some other women. I've yet to see a modern woman get married. I see women who are already married coaching modern women how to get married and telling them what to deal with. But those women are already married. So you can't put them into the modern thing. They just give y'all content. Those women are already married. So they can talk as reckless as they want. Because guess what? When they get through talking crazy to you and they turn this camera off, they got a husband they laying next to. And a lot of these women get on here and talk crazy and they turn the light off and take the wig off and wipe the eyebrows off and take that thing strapped across their body off and all the other stuff they got going on. They getting in bed by themselves. Yeah, they got a phone full of men, but them men only want one thing, and they know that. He don't want you. He want parts of you. Just saying, man. They'll
Ladies,
figure it out.
ladies, where y'all at?
They'll figure it out. They left. There's too much facts. They gone.
Ladies, where y'all at?
We're not on here talking about how men are doing terrible, and we got to go out here and correct these negative men in society because the positive men in society. It's our job to go out and be like, hey, sir, you're not taking care of your kids. You should do that. Or you could just know who you're dealing with, or you can know who you laying down with, and just not give your body up to that person. But
Hey.
it is what it is.
Gabby, what's good, Gabby?
Hey, not much. I got the tail end of what you were saying. I didn't hear the whole thing, so I'm just gonna comment on what I heard. But you saying like those women who take off all those things, they're in bed alone, they have a list of men on their phone. I hear you. I get what you're saying because I agree with some of that, but then I don't know. I just feel like the other side of it is you're basically you're basically in that scenario choosing between um, being in bed alone or being with a man who does nothing for you. And he's just special. He may make you feel loved, but he has nothing to offer you. So is that really a good alternative
I
to
understand.
just sit
First of all,
alone?
let me say this. And I told nobody this, and I'm gonna say it now. First of all, Gabby, let me apologize to you. I was very rude to you the last time we had a conversation. Last week was in the panel. I was just in my troll moment. I want to apologize one because I like I said, I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for you. We sat on the panel, and God, everybody. When I say everybody, was like kind of attacking you, and more and more I heard you talk, I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I'm like, damn, what am I mad at? Because if I'm not one of the men that you're talking about, why am I internalizing this so much, right? And I'm fighting for men who don't fight for me. And so I just want to say, I'm sorry for how I was, because that was not becoming of a person that I am. So hopefully you take
Apology
my
accepted.
apology. I am a big fan of yours now, because like I said, you sat in that panel, and I got videos on my platform, where I went at some stuff you say. But I'm just telling you, going forward, I was like, because I ain't taking the video down. Don't ask me to take it down, because I'm not. But I'm just kidding. But no, I am a big fan, and like I said, I appreciate you being able to articulate and fight for yourself and stand on firmly what you believe. We don't have a lot of women like that, so I see value in that, and
Thank
I
you.
think it's attractive. I think it's very
Facts.
attractive. But
Facts.
I just wanted to
Aw,
say
thank
that.
you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Gabby, I do want to play this audio for you though, because I do want to hear what you have to say about what this woman had to say. So let me play this audio for you.
Okay.
Soccer player Hakimi is engaged in this vicious divorce battle with his soon-to-be ex-wife over assets to be distributed upon a divorce. The problem is Hakimi took all of his assets and put them in his mama's name. Now, the fact that he did that, that's a whole nother video. I'm going to give you tips on how to make sure you never end up in this situation. Step one, get a prenup. I've talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. And you might be thinking, I don't have enough assets for a prenup. A prenup will mandate both parties to disclose what assets they have, where they're located, and whose name they're in. If she would have done that, she would have known from the beginning he has nothing in his name. Step two, I want you to have a provision in your prenup that requires you to get paid out for every year that you are sitting at home taking care of the family and taking care of the kids. And you might be thinking, oh, I don't need to do that. Shut up. Shut up. Society is going to pressure you into a lot of things. Your love for the family is going to pressure you into a lot of things. And you need a payout in the event that you sacrifice your entire career and sit at home. Because you're not going to be able to jump back into the freaking work market with a gap in your resume. Step three, and this is something I'm personally going to have in my prenup, have a payout clause for every child you bring into this world. And you might be thinking, oh, you're not doing a big job by bringing a child into this world. It's your duty. Shut up. Okay, shut up. The mental, physical, emotional toll that's going to take on your body, on who you are as a person, it's going to change you forever. And let's be completely honest, when you are divorced and you have to go back into the dating market, they're going to treat you as a single mother with children very differently than a rich man who's divorced and has kids. It's not going to impact him or his life. It's going to impact you. So make sure you're compensated for it.
I mean, I've always believed in that. I actually have a prenup of my own written up and ready to go. So I am she's exactly right. I definitely have already put clauses in my little prenup to every child I have for this man. There's a certain more percentage that I should get of his assets. And then another thing, she's saying that everything is in his mom's name. I'm sorry. Every woman I know is expert investigators, expert detectives. No way in hell you're getting away with that. Like, I will know what assets you have and who you have it with and whose name is on it. Like, I'm doing a full background check. Like, I'm going to figure this out before I sign my name on a marriage certificate. Like, you should know this man. Like, I don't care if I need to hire a private investigator to know what this man is hiding and having and whatever. Like, I just feel like maybe love made her turn a blind eye. I don't know what it was. Like, maybe his situation, because he was rich and wealthy, it was so shiny to her that she didn't feel like she needed to do that research. But I research everybody. So yeah, I agree with what she's saying.
Kev, do you have any response to anything she just said?
He's muted.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said, do you
My
have
bad.
any response to anything that Gabby just said?
No, I ain't got no response at all. I mean, she got a prenup. That was funny. She protecting her assets. What's the difference between a man doing the same thing, especially when it looks like, you know what I'm saying? Men are looking to capitalize too. You know, we want to get some. I want to get some of them assets. You know, I want some of that college money you got. I want some of that OnlyFans money. Not you, but I want some OnlyFans money. You know what I'm saying? I want some of that stripper pole money. You know what I'm saying? I want some of that too. So yeah, you know, why not? Why not take some of that money if you can get it? You know, I would take it. It's free money, right?
I feel like if I am, and I'm willing to do that because I want to be a stay-at-home mom, if I'm giving up a career, if I'm stopping to work
Okay.
to be in the home, she's right about going back into the workforce after a big gap in your resume. It does make things more difficult. I mean, in general, like how she said that how a man is perceived as a divorcee is a lot better than how a woman is perceived as a new single mom divorcee. Like she gets judged way harder, and then at that point, she's probably having to like settle a little more for the next man of whoever she gets to. And that's why I'm just like, this is literally why I'm so like hard up front and like very strict with like boundaries and standards right now, because I know whoever gets to have kids with me, like they got the best. Like they, you know what I mean? Like cuz I'm coming as a single woman with no anything else. Like he's just getting me, but like if that were to fail down the road, like now I have to consider that I have children, and I need to consider who I'm gonna choose as a to my children. You know what I mean? Like I should like, as a kids right now, I'm giving a lot, so I should get a lot. Yeah, I should be taken care of.
Do you okay? Let me ask you something though, and I want you to be 100% honest. Do you think women using their platforms to spread messages like this to other loading, no video, no sound? Can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Everything is good now? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know what happened.
Okay, we're back on.
Yeah, yeah, I was just asking because a rebuttal that like a lot of women like to use is that they like to say that they only broke men feel some sort of way. That's like a crutch that they use, if you ask me. Like only broke men are going to feel some sort of way hearing a woman speak like that. And I don't like I like want to like think in good faith about a lot of women that they're not like delusional and dumb or stupid enough to really think that a man is going to work extremely hard to get to a certain level in life and obtain certain things and knowingly exert those things on a woman who's openly communicating that I won't just be with you for you. I'm going to be with you for what you're able to do for me right now and what I foresee you being able to do for me in the future. No man in their right mind is going to do that.
Okay, actually,
A man that makes six figures, seven figures, eight figures, or nine figures, they're not going to do that.
okay, okay, so you said two different things. You said, in the foreseeable future and for right now. I don't understand what you mean by the foreseeable future. Are you saying that like As soon as the
What I'm saying is that woman, in that specific woman's head, you're like, this man, you see this man to be in this position right now. So the way as a woman that you're looking at him is, I can live this sort of lifestyle and he can provide me these things because of the position that he's in right now. And then when I say foreseeing what he'll be able to do for you in the future, you anticipate him being at the very least at that level, but but with the way life goes, you see him progressing. So you don't see it. You just in your eyes, you see it to just be green forever. You don't really look at it like there can be that this man could lose his job, things could go bad, he could get sick. If he has investments, it can go bad. So
I see what you
it's
mean. I feel that you should I mean, even okay, I feel two ways about it. The first way is for a man in that position who has money, who has things to offer, who has resources, assets, every woman is going to know that and be attracted to that. That is going to be one of the things that's going to attract women, okay? Like, it doesn't matter if she has the most purest heart and she's into struggle love. If she knows you have money, she will be attracted to that regardless of her intentions, right? So now we go on to this second part, which is the intention. Some women, because any woman that so you say you're that man, any woman is going to benefit from that man and his assets. The difference is there's one type of woman who will love that man even with his assets, even through sickness and in health, through richer, through poor. If he loses his job, whatever, there's going to be women who love this man regardless of if he loses money later down the road or not. And then there's going to be some women who literally was just there for the money. There should be you should search out the difference, because all women are going to be attracted to money, of course, but only some of them are going to be attracted to you other than just your money and what you have to offer. You have to have other things that you guys like about each other, not just money.
But what I am telling you is that a man, no matter what level he's on, a man that is within his right mind and that has options when it comes to women, he is not going to choose a woman that is being open about only being with him because she sees him as a tool and not as a person. No man in his right mind is going to see a woman that only talks about money and how she only desires a man with money because of what a man with money will be able to do for her, and look at that woman and say that that's the woman that I'm gonna exert all my hard work and all my efforts on.
I just feel like
They're not going to do that.
yeah, I just feel like what you described is you want a woman who is better at
No, no, no,
finessing.
no, 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 no. I didn't say what I want or what I do. I told you
Okay,
what's
so
the
this man,
facts.
so
I
right,
told
so
you what's the facts.
but
And
but
then
the
and again, like Rob was saying that night, y'all say these things, but y'all can't present these men. Like where are these men that are working extremely hard, that make an honest living, that really pay taxes, that are will and have options, that are willingly dealing with women, that are openly saying that I'm only with you because of what you're able to do for me.
I don't think any
Zilla,
woman openly says that.
Kev, do you know where these men are? Because I don't know where they are.
Um, I mean, it's not for us to produce. They should be producing them. They have them. So
But
I
that's
don't
what I'm
know.
saying. Where do they be at though? Why don't they ever?
I think that those men are busy courting and dealing with the women that they want. And I don't think they're focusing on women who want them. I think they're focused on the women that they want. So I think it just speaks volumes when, you ask for something that you can't even appeal to. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like no woman is just openly saying, "Yeah, I'm with you for your money. I just want your money." I don't think anybody is saying that.
You don't have to say things verbatim to like mean something. There's different ways to go about saying something. So
I
I
guess
mean,
I need to understand an example of what would be a good example of like what would be an attractive woman and how she comes across, and what you're saying, because like I'm like you said, not verbatim. Okay, so what is this woman saying that makes her seem more genuine than a woman that's saying she wants money? Like, what is a different? Give me an example because I really don't understand what the difference is. I feel like all women are seeing that as a plus, whether they say it or not.
Right. They are seeing it as a plus, whether they say it or not. But what I'm trying to tell you is the woman that's not using her mouth and using her platform to voice that, oh, you guys are broke boys and you guys are dusties and you guys can't even afford to take care of me. The women that aren't making it seem like they have a price tag on them, those are the women that have more of an opportunity to get that caliber of a man. Like I
Because
don't understand. I don't understand as a woman how like y'all don't understand that like how do you not understand that like okay, this person is saying that I'm only going to like be with you or I'm only going to deal with this type of men because what they're able to do for me. What makes you think that that man that is really able to do those things for you, you think he doesn't want to be seen as a person? You think he doesn't want someone that's going to genuinely want him for him? Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of those women that exist that are only going to want him for what he's able to do for them. So then that woman that has that mindset, what are you doing to stick out? What are you doing to actually make yourself be the one that he steps out in public with? But that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't really y'all whether despite what y'all don't really be dealing with these men because like where do like y'all say y'all go on dates with these men? Where do they be at? Why do they not like why are y'all not outside in public with them being pictured with them? Like where do they be at?
Okay, well, I mean, dating is one thing because you're not in a relationship, right? You're still dating, you're still deciding if you like that person.
Right.
So I feel like dating is a little different because it's easy to date men. Like, men are always available for a date, they're always willing to take you out on a date. I feel like when it
Mhm.
comes to the transfer to a relationship that comes with like deeper feelings and a deeper like motive, I guess. You know what I mean? So like it's just when it's getting to that point. So I mean, I'm not currently in a relationship with any man, so I can't really speak on that. But as far as dating, I feel like that's very easy. You could just easily have someone take you out. That's like not a really hard thing. But back to
Okay,
what you're
okay, I'm sorry. Let me ask you, do you want to be the woman that just gets taken out on dates, or do you want to be the woman that actually has an opportunity to be in a relationship with this caliber of man?
a relationship for sure.
Okay, so do most women just get taken out on dates, or are most women gonna actually be the woman that's in a relationship with this caliber of a man, or are most women just gonna be the woman that gets taken out on dates? And to be honest, a lot of them are not even getting taken out on dates. They're more so like Kevin was saying earlier, you're more so getting used for your parts more so than anything else. Like if we just be 100% honest and have a real conversation. Because a lot of you don't be having any morals and values, and some of you that say that you do, you throw away whatever morals and values you do have when you get an opportunity to be around these caliber of men. If we
I
just be
mean,
100% honest.
if we're being 100% honest, uh girl like women will do the same thing with broke men. They'll act the same way. Like some of these girls, you don't even need to take them out for coffee. Like they'll just come straight to your house. So like we're being
Right.
100, it's not really about his money. It's that's just how they get down, whether the man has money or not. Like they're going to sleep with you. They're going to do that because that's who they are regardless of how much money he has. It's not like he's spending that money on them. That you know what I mean? So I feel like um I understand what you're saying, but it really just goes back down to the woman you're describing that kind of man wants. That woman is just better at hiding it. She's better at finessing. She's better at like not being obvious that she's wants the money, that she's with him because he has status, money, whatever. She's not being obvious. She's coming across as, oh, I don't care about your money. You could be broke. You could work at Walmart and I'd still be with you. She's just coming across like that, but that's not really what it is. Like, because at the end of the day, she's not with someone who works at Walmart. She's with someone who has money. So she wasn't, you know what I mean? She's not, unless he was able to hide it and he was able to hide the fact that he had money and he just lied and said he worked at Walmart. That's the only difference. But if she knows he has money, of course she's not going to be obvious and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just with you for your money." She's not going to be like that. She's going to play the cards right. She's going to play the game right. She's going to act like his money means nothing to her, but it's not the truth. Because that is an attractive point that he has.
Right. So you're speaking to my point though. So what makes you think that the woman that is being open about it is going to be the woman that he wants to spend any sort of time with?
I see what you mean. I mean, I get that. Yeah, for sure. That's a con. That's a con.
Okay. So is it in a woman's benefit to do that then?
Um, no, it's not.
Okay then.
But again, if somebody has to do it, it needs to be talked about. It needs to be said. It's important. It's an important conversation that no, like, there's a reason why for so many generations women haven't talked like this because it doesn't benefit us to talk like this. But I'm a big believer in speaking the truth and telling the truth and being honest. So I feel like somebody has to say it. Somebody needs to be talking about it because it's what they're thinking. They're just not saying it. So basically, you're saying that, like, women shouldn't say these things because it makes men uncomfortable. It doesn't benefit you to get a man, so don't say it, and you might get closer to your goal of getting that type of man. I agree with you. I don't. I wouldn't personally do that myself, but I understand the benefits of being deceitful and playing the game. I understand the benefits of playing the game. I just value the truth more.
I'm not saying that it makes men uncomfortable though, because it really does not make men uncomfortable. It's really funny and just laughable 99% of the time because in all reality, 99% of the women that are even saying these type of things, they're not dealing with these type of men in any capacity at all. That's just the truth at the end of the day. That's just the truth. Not in a serious manner or in an unserious manner. They're not dealing with these caliber of men in any capacity at all.
So then, what would be the point of them talking about money or not if they're not dealing with those type of men?
What would be the point?
Yeah, like what like you're saying that they're being open about talking about a man's money and that's important to them. It wouldn't be a topic of conversation if they're not even dealing with those type of men. Like why would they need to talk about men with money if they don't date men with money?
Because they have a mental illness called delusion. A
Oh
lot, a lot
no.
of a lot, a lot of you have a mental illness called delusion. You really like a lot of y'all really are delusional. That's just the truth at the end of the day. Like y'all have no problem telling a man it like if a man looked a certain type of way and had a certain job and said that if a man was like 5'6" and morbidly obese and he made 20 to 30 thousand dollars a year and he said that I need to be with a woman that's shaped like a Coke bottle. She gotta have this career, she gotta make this amount of money. Y'all would be quick to question him like, bro, who do you think you are? Like, but when a man does the same thing to you, then it's like a problem. Like he's stepping out of his place for doing it. So like you understand it when it's the man doing it. Like you understand that he's being delusional, but you don't understand it when the woman is being delusional. But she's doing it's the same people. It's just that one is a man and one is a woman. But you have a hard time understanding like it when it's a woman.
I understand. Yeah, I agree because I really don't understand it when it comes from the woman's side because as I'm coming as a woman, but like when you talk about delusional, I feel like a lot of men are also delusional when they think that women aren't there for them or women aren't with them partially because of what they have to offer, like money. I feel like that's delusional to think that that this woman is really with you when you have nothing to offer. Like when you have something to offer, they're not there because of that too. Like that's what I mean. Like how you're saying, like these men, they want to be with a woman who doesn't want them for their money, but I think that's delusional to think that a woman wouldn't try to be with you because you have something to offer her.
Yeah, of course, as a man, you need to have something to offer her. But what men have been trying to tell you is that as a woman, you need to have something to offer to a man as well.
I agree, but what
They're
is
they're
that?
they're 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 literally telling you like I want you to have something. I want you to bring value to my life. It's not just about your body. I want you to bring some value to my life because if I want to make you a wife, I want you to be the mother of my children one day. If I want you to have my last name, it's way more important than just what your body is.
I agree with you, Noble, but men never talk about anything other than looks. So
No,
if
that's
they're
not true.
okay, I'm sorry, the
That's
men
what
that I hear
they're
on
literally
here.
telling you that every day. I just said that they're literally telling you that it is more than your looks to be taken Seriously.
Okay, so what else other than looks?
Kev, do you want to answer a question? And see, this is the problem, though. This is the problem, though. As long as if
So
hey,
the question of what men want other than looks
Yes.
in a relationship or in general.
I guess in a relationship.
I'll just speak. So, yeah, in a relationship, you can't say general because the purpose of getting a relationship. So what I mean, obviously, looks are what gets a lot of people in the door. But once you learn that looks aren't everything, a woman's attitude, how a woman treats you in the relationship. Now I'm not asking you to prioritize me. I'm not asking you to put me before you because obviously you can't do nothing for me if you can't do nothing for yourself. But just understanding how hard men have to work out in society. Let's just speak about black men right now. All men work hard, but let's just speak about black men in society right now. The marginalization that a lot of us get just because of our finances. Believe it or not, there are a lot of men in society who didn't believe they needed college education, so they went on into career fields that didn't have an upside as far as financial gains. Are those men somehow less desirable than other men who went and got college degrees? You hear a lot of women say that they are. So when men are out here providing for themselves and doing just fine, and a woman tells you, you know what you're making right now is not enough for me, so you're not a good man. How does that make that man feel, right? And I'm not speaking like anybody should care, but you got a bunch of men in society who are working as hard as they can for themselves, and women are telling them that's not good enough for me at all. You need to be making 100K, 75K, blah 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 blah. And when we disconnect the finances, now can you provide for me emotionally, right? Can you provide for me spiritually? Not necessarily a religion, but are you able to be my calming presence in the home when I come home? Is it another fight? Is it you telling me, man, I'm so tired of us living this certain type of way, I want to live in this certain type of house? It's like men are looking for women to be more peaceful, be more appreciative, and understand how hard the man that you're dealing with is working. I'm not saying that you don't get the man that you want, like you say. Some of the other men that we say they don't make enough money, and they are getting pushed to the side. And so many men in society don't meet the physical appearance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we all are superficial. Don't get me wrong. I don't really be dealing with ugly girls like that unless it's like 2 a.m. or something, and I can't strike out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to go home. But that's a different story. What I'm saying is that men are looking for a calming presence. We're looking for a woman to be respectful, to act like she loves a man. And a lot of women are like, I'm going to love you, but you got to meet all these criteria first. Then you unlock the love for me. And that is not going to work for a large percentage of men in society today.
That's understandable. I agree. Like I agree with what you're saying. You want to feel valued as well. You want to feel loved and appreciated as well. I think everyone does in a relationship. Um and I get that. I would say for the men who actually work hard, who actually want to take care of their person or whatever, I'm not talking about them, but I feel like when I talk with women, a lot of them run into men who don't do any of that and they're feeling like cheated out of having an actual partner and not just like a man child that they have to take care of. Like so many women struggle with like being with men who it's pretty much like another kid in the house and they have to do everything for. So I think that's where a lot of women are coming from when they're like, you know what, I want to raise my standards. I don't want to have to deal with these type of men. I want to have a partner who's actually an adult who can pull their own. And apparently that's been very difficult for a lot of people.
so
So,
so so how as a woman, how do you get in a relationship with a man like that then? How how do you how no let's talk about that. Because again, we've established that you could say the whole raising standards thing, but at the end of the day, they're not reaching what they're raising the standards to. That's just facts at the end of the day. It's not my opinion. That's facts. So if they're feeling like they're dealing with these man children, like you just referred to them as, why are they getting in relationships with man children?
well, honestly,
Are,
that's
are
my
they are they are they vetting these men? How are they getting in relationships with man children? And why are they staying in them then?
I mean, I ask the same questions because I get very irritated when I see it because when women do complain about the men that they're with and the men that
Mhm.
are not are man children, I ask them the same thing. Like, why are you with him? Why did you get in a relationship with him? Why didn't you, You know, I think it's because some people are afraid to be single and alone. Some people don't want to sleep alone. Some people want companionship. Some people
Yep.
want someone there. They can't really stand on their own 2 feet. So they need to have that comfort, even just mentally having someone there with them. And I feel like that's why a lot of people, a lot of women are in these situations because they don't want to be alone. It's hard. It's not easy to be alone all the time. You have to do everything by yourself and you have to sleep by yourself. Like it's not easy to be single. It's not easy to be alone.
Yeah.
And some people would rather just settle for a man child instead.
Can I say this? I think, and this is just my perception. Women, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or not. I think what a lot of, first of all, men and women, I think men need to realize that women enjoy sexual experiences just as much as we do. Even though some of us like the variety, just to act along a lot. Women enjoy it if you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you know what you're doing, if you like me, you know what you're doing. You enjoy it just as me. So a woman will, right? So a lot of these women get in these relationships or they get handcuffed to these relationships because they're in a relationship with a man that may fulfill certain parts, but he fails in the other parts. So as she's progressing and getting better and investing in herself and getting an education and starting to see how a man should treat her, she starts to realize, hey, this man right here ain't really the guy for me. But remember, she's invested so much time in this man that she's like, rather than throw 3-4 years away with this man because he does meet these other aspects for me, let me try to pour into him and get him to do this. But really, he's the wrong guy. And you should have just cut him off and cut your losses. And those men are the ones that ruin it for so many of these women in society now because they're like, I ain't going back to that. I ain't doing that because I already tried that before. But if you'd have tried that with the right man, you might have helped him level up. You might have been his driving force for him to be even more successful and provide for you and do things that you want. You might have been that. But now it's to the point now where men are building themselves up with the absence of a woman to the point where now they're like, I only want a certain woman now. I want a woman that can understand me and then progress with me. I don't want a woman that is here because of my finances. I don't want a woman here because of my resources and what I can do for her. So it's going to backfire for a lot of women because men aren't sympathetic like we used to be, where a woman says, oh, I was in a relationship with a man and he didn't treat me right. That used to mean something back in the day. Nowadays, that's a red flag, and I don't want to deal with you because I'm like, well, any man that you're dealing with that you put, you know what I'm saying, not put your last name, but you get in a relationship with, you should be making sure he's the best man for you. If you just getting in a relationship to be dealing with a man, that just shows me that you're irresponsible and that you don't have relationship intelligence. So who wants to deal with a person that doesn't even know how to operate in a relationship, let alone as an individual? So it's deep than that, and that's the reason why a lot of men with substance, men with education, men like Noble, myself, Ty, my man Rebel, shout out to my man Rebel, we ain't dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just not dealing with that. And I could be candid about it and disrespectful about it because I know at the end of the day, I know what I provide. And like I said, I don't need to be appealing to everyone. I just need to be appealing to the woman that I want. And when you can do that, just like yourself, you're not worried about these other men who don't care about what you have to say. You're going to keep pressing their buttons because they're failing at the aspects that you need. So you don't even want them anyway. So it doesn't matter. Just like men. If you're failing in aspects of your life that doesn't matter to me, I'm like, okay, cool. That's even great. So your opinion doesn't matter. These relationships that these women got in before are now crippling them because men don't value them the same way they used to back in the day. We used to have sympathy for women that got treated wrong. We used to have sympathy for women that used to, didn't get loved and didn't have a great upbringing and all that. Now it's like, well, that ain't my fault. Don't come here projecting that negativity on me. You chose him. Deal with the consequences. So that's really where we at right now.
I agree with you for sure. And I understand that that's where, some men are coming from because obviously not all men are trash. Like, not all men are operating in that way where they just want to use women for a house or for food or whatever. Like, there's actually men who do pull their weight, who do work hard, and they deserve, a good relationship with a good woman. I'm not denying that at all. But like you said something earlier that I had a question about, you're like, these women are choosing these type of men and they should have not done that. They should have cut their losses and chosen the right man. And my question is, probably a lot of people ask, is like, how do you vet a man? Like, how do you know that he's like a good man versus just like a deadbeat? Like, how do you know?
This is what I would do, not to cut you off. So it's not very hard, especially today. It's even better. Back in the day, everybody looked the same. As far as men, everybody had kind of the same upbringings most of the time. Let's just go with what we know. Most men, we're talking about black men right now. Most of them, what our narrative right now, we grew up without our fathers in the home, right? So you should already know, okay, this man grew up without his father possibly, right? So you can ask, hey, did you grow up with your father? Yeah, my father was there. No, my father was there. Okay, what men did you see growing up around your mother? Oh, my mother just habitually dated. She dated a bunch of men. She had men paying bills in the home all the time. I seen different men all the time. They used to buy me stuff. They didn't really talk to me. They didn't really guide me. I didn't have no men really teach me as I grew up. I learned on the road. I learned in jail. Blah blah blah. Those things should start. Not, and I'm not marginalizing those men, but as you like, I grew up most of my life without my father, but he was there until I was like 7 or 8 years old. Other than that, I had nothing but black women in my life and my uncles and my aunties and uncles. So I learned from the women in my life how to be a man. More importantly, how to be a parent because I'm a father myself. And I learned what my father wasn't doing, and I did the exact opposite. I do my father was absent. I'm very present. My father was disrespectful in a way. I'm very respectful. I'm disrespectful to women I don't know. I'm disrespectful to women I don't hear about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here genuinely being disrespectful, but if you come to me with that energy, I'm gonna bring it back. That's all it is, right? So when you're asking about the men that you should be dating, you should be understanding what type of man that is. First of all, if you laying down with a man and you just laying down with him, then let it be that. Let's not let that be in a relationship. Let's not try to make something work out of it because you had sex with the man. Let's just say, hey, this happened. Let's move forward. One night stand, two night stand, whatever. I think a lot of times women see better in men before they see better in themselves. And if you see better for him than he sees for himself, that might be a flag for you as well. I know some men need pouring into and coaching, but there's some men in society who know what they need to do and are on a purpose. Those men are you should be directing your energy towards. And they, like I said, those are the men right now that are marginalized. They don't make enough money. They're not tall enough. Maybe their penis ain't big enough. I don't know. But you need to understand what type of man you're dealing with because if you know about his upbringing, how much he respects women around him, if he doesn't respect women around him, it'll tell you a lot about a man. You know this now, but a lot of women didn't know that. So, it is a way to detour these men and get away from these men because you know what they want. They want your body. They want to live in your house. They want to bring the PlayStation over. They want to drive your car. Like the signs are right there. But these women talk about these things as if these men were going to change. They're not going to change. You gave them the platform to do whatever they needed to do. So when you take that blanket away and you take away the resources that you have as a woman and that man standing there as a negative for you, that should tell you something. If you take away everything that you have and he's still standing there strong and he's got stuff for himself and he can be an asset, maybe that's a guy you should be dealing with. But a lot of women aren't doing that. They want to build a guy and they want a man to basically need them and think that a man's going to be loyal to them because they're doing so much for him. When in reality, you need a man who will be loyal to you outside of what you could provide for him. That's just my understanding of it.
I was taking notes. Those were some good notes. I'm writing down. Um, I agree, and so my other question. When you say like when you take away all your stuff, like what does he have left? Is he still standing strong? I feel like a lot of women, when I talk to them, they deal with men who are a work in progress, and like how you said, some men are working hard. They're working to get to a certain point, and those men, they may not make a lot of money right now, but they're working on something. How do you determine if he's just egging himself on and trying to make you believe that he is gonna get to a certain point to where he can be financially stable versus him just talking a lot and not really gonna do it? Because like that's the thing too, like how long do you wait for a man to get his shit together? Like how long do you wait before you realize, okay, maybe he's just talking and not really gonna do it? How do you just decipher that when you're with a man who doesn't make a lot of money?
Kev,
So
Kev, do you realize that this whole conversation has been about trying to obtain a certain man that can provide me a certain lifestyle and do for me. Again, it's not about as a woman. It's not about working hard to be able to put yourself in a position to do for yourself. Everything is about obtaining this man that has the funds and the resources to provide me the lifestyle that I wanna live.
Well, what
Like,
else? What else is? What else is
does
there?
a hardworking woman does a hardworking woman exist anymore? Does getting off your ass and working hard for yourself and
A lot of
being
women
able
do
to
that
have these things
already.
for yourself, does that exist anymore?
Of
Because
course.
that hasn't been brought up in this conversation, and that doesn't get brought up. I brought it up earlier. It's not about like what happened to that.
Well, but Noble, but that's what I'm saying. There is a lot of hardworking women who are doing it for themselves. They have
Yeah.
their own assets. They're doing they pay their own bills. They take care of their kids. They're doing all that without a man. So I'm just saying, if you're going to add a man to your life and he's not going to
Yeah.
benefit you in any way, what was the point? Because you could do it yourself. A lot of women are doing it themselves.
Yeah, the part where I would say, as far as how long do you stay, that's on you as a woman and how much you're willing to invest. And just remember, as much as you're investing, what are you getting back for? So if you're pouring into this man and the results aren't resulting, then that's probably a telltale sign. But let's just say he's just it's a financial thing and he's working towards making more money, but it's going to take some time. The progression is going to be there, right? Because just like a woman goes to school, or like myself, Noble, we went to school and went to college. It took 4 years to do it. It took me 5.5, almost 6, because I had a daughter. And I was playing basketball, and I stopped my education, and I went back 2 years after I was done playing basketball to go to finish it, right? But I'm just saying, for those working adult women who sometimes, a lot of them are parents, and they're doing this stuff. So hats off to them. But when we talk about like the men that they have in their lives, a lot of the times, when we're talking about those men, they are already failing in the aspect that this woman needs him to be excelling in. So it's like she gives him time to do better and progress. And it's like, okay, you're looking at him stand still, is what I'm saying. If you're elevating and you're constantly having to pull this man up, that's your telltale sign. He needs to be working just as hard as you. I'm not saying that just because he makes less than you, he's worthless or anything of that nature. But if that man doesn't have the drive to want to make more money or feel like he wants to provide more, then that's your sign. If you're going and dating a man who is on your couch and then he says he's going to get a job, he gets a job, but it's a job that doesn't pay well, and he's happy with that, and you're not happy with that, and you have a
Yeah.
conversation with him, and you tell him you want better, and that's not enough for him to do better and make better, then maybe that's not the guy for you. So it's just more so like understanding where you boundaries, you know what I'm saying? What you want and what you expect, and having conversations. A lot of times we don't want to hurt feelings, but these are people that we're supposed to be building connections with, loving. And if you can't be honest with those type of people, then what's the purpose of even being in a relationship with them? That's just what I would say.
That's my whole point, and that's what I was trying to say. If that's not the man for you, that's not the man for you. But I feel like what Noble was saying is just putting a lot of judgment on women who are wanting a certain type of man or wanting certain things from a man. I don't think that's fair, because there are a lot of women who pay their own bills, who do everything for themselves, and
Why they
I
need
don't see the
50? Why
point.
they don't
Okay,
like
okay.
50?
Let me say something. Let me say something. Then I want to let we done speak.
All
If
right.
if these women are doing so well, and if they're so accomplished, if they're so successful, let's why are they not attracted? Why are they not attracting the men that are on this level, or on a higher level than them? That's the question. That's the
There's
real
probably not
question
as
that needs
many. There
addressing.
probably not as many. They
There's
probably don't
probably
have
not as
access.
many what?
They probably don't have access to those type of men. It's not like they're.
Why? If you're really the woman that you say you are, then you should have no problem being in these circles of men that are in the same caliber as you.
Well, but
It's
same.
not it's not
Oh,
too
I
many
understand.
it's not too many women that drop fries at McDonald's that's running in circles with attorneys and physicians and surgeons. Like let's talk the real here.